The 7 ancient secrets of the Catholic Church most people don't know. For more than 2,000 years, the Catholic Church has carried stories, symbols, and traditions that have traveled across continents and through centuries. Some are taught openly, some are spoken only in quiet corners, and others remain hidden in the meaning of rituals, colors, architecture, and ancient practices that began long before our modern world. Today, we explore 7 ancient secrets, not forbidden secrets, but forgotten ones. Prepare to journey through time, history, faith, and tradition, as we uncover the 7 ancient secrets of the Catholic Church most people don't know. Most people think the sign of the cross is simply a gesture of prayer. But its meaning is far deeper, and more ancient, than many realize. The gesture traces back to the earliest Christians, who lived in a world filled with danger, persecution, and uncertainty. They used the sign of the cross as a silent declaration of faith and a symbol of spiritual protection. The movement from forehead to chest to shoulders represents more than the Trinity. It symbolizes bringing God's wisdom to the mind, God's love to the heart, and God's strength to the body. Some ancient Christian writings even describe it as a seal, a symbol of belonging and a reminder of inner strength. Today, the gesture continues across the world, the same movement, unchanged for centuries. A small motion, with a tremendous history. Walk into an old Catholic church, stand near the entrance, and look up. You'll notice something many people miss. The building is shaped like a cross. This architectural design began in the first centuries of Christianity. The long central aisle represents the body of the cross. The horizontal space where the choir stands, the transept, forms the arms. But there's more. Old churches are almost always built facing the east. Why? Because ancient Christians prayed facing the rising sun, a symbol of hope, new beginnings, and spiritual awakening. The structure of a church also carries symbolic meaning. The entrance represents the beginning of life. The nave, the central hall, symbolizes the journey of faith. And the sanctuary, the most sacred space, represents the heavenly realm. Every stone, every window, every arch has meaning. Nothing is random, not even the way sound echoes inside. You are not just entering a building. You are walking into a centuries-old symbol. Incense rises in white streams, filling the air with fragrance and mystery. Holy water sits quietly at the entrance of the church. What is the deeper meaning behind these ancient elements? Incense has been used in spiritual rituals for thousands of years. In Judaism, in early Christianity, and in cultures across the world. For early Christians, incense symbolized prayer rising to heaven, and the purification of sacred spaces. Its scent was a reminder that the spiritual world exists beyond the visible one. Holy water, on the other hand, symbolizes cleansing, protection, and renewal. It traces back to ancient Jewish ritual baths and was adopted by early Christians as a reminder of baptism, the beginning of their spiritual journey. When Catholics dip their fingers into holy water, they are touching a symbol of rebirth and spiritual preparation. These elements are not magical. They are symbolic reminders, physical signs of deeper spiritual truths. If you attend Mass in Cameroon, or France, or Brazil, you will notice something remarkable. The structure is the same. This is not a coincidence. The order of the Catholic Mass has ancient roots. Its basic structure dates back more than 1,600 years. The early Christian communities gathered in homes, courtyards, and meeting halls. Their worship followed 2 essential parts. 1. The liturgy of the Word. Readings, teaching, reflection. 2. The liturgy of the Eucharist. The sacred meal Jesus shared with his disciples. Over centuries, the structure became unified, so that no matter where a believer traveled, the worship would feel familiar. This unity is one of the reasons the Catholic Church grew so strongly. It offered stability, continuity, and shared identity across borders and cultures. A ritual that outlived empires, crossed oceans, and survived centuries. Every color worn during Mass carries a message. It is a silent language. White symbolizes purity, joy, and celebration. It is worn during Christmas, Easter, and feasts of saints known for virtue. Green represents hope and growth. It is worn during ordinary time, symbolizing the daily journey of spiritual life. Red symbolizes sacrifice and courage, used on the feasts of martyrs, and during Pentecost. Purple represents reflection and preparation. It appears during Advent and Lent, times of spiritual renewal. Rose appears only twice a year, as a symbol of joy in the middle of seasons of preparation. These colors speak without words. telling the story of the Church's spiritual seasons. Relics are among the oldest traditions in Christian history, but many people do not understand their purpose. The earliest Christians honored the memory of those who lived lives of deep faith. They kept objects connected to them, not as magical items, but as reminders of their courage, sacrifice, and inspiration. Relics were placed under altars, in chapels, and in special containers called reliquaries. Why? Because they represent continuity, a link between past and present, a reminder that faith is lived by real human beings, in real moments of history. These objects help tell the stories of people who lived with extraordinary conviction. They are historical memories, preserved with care. Walk into an ancient church and look closely at the paintings and statues. They are not just decorations. They are stories in visual form. Before most people could read or write, art was the church's teaching tool. A lamb symbolized innocence and sacrifice. A dove symbolized peace and the presence of the Holy Spirit. A key in the hand of St. Peter represented spiritual leadership. A lily in the hand of Mary represented purity and devotion. Every color, every posture, every object had meaning. These artistic messages helped teach faith. In villages, cities, and kingdoms where books were rare, and education was limited, art became a universal language, a way for the church to speak without words. These 7 ancient secrets are not hidden in vaults, not locked away in forbidden rooms. They live in symbols, traditions, architecture, and rituals that millions encounter every day, often without noticing. The Catholic Church is not only a place of worship, it is a library of history, culture, and meaning, a collection of stories stretching across continents and centuries. And this is only the beginning. If you want to uncover more forgotten truths, ancient traditions, and deep meanings behind the world's oldest Christian practices, subscribe to Secrets of the Catholic Church. More mysteries, more history, and more discoveries await.